Well, thank you for taking a minute to meet with us. So I'll do a quick selfie. So we're rafting down the Deschutes River, which is right here. We've just stopped for lunch.
Yeah, delicious.
And so this is Dion and Lucia, who actually live here in Maupin for a short time. And you are both long distance runners.
Yes.
We are.
Ultra runners.
Yeah.
We like to go long.
Fantastic story. Dion, you have written a book called Finding Gobi.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the story.
It's about a little stray dog that started running a race with me across the Gobi Desert in China. It's a New York Times best-selling book now. The dog is a stray dog living in the desert in China. I'm running a 155-mile, 6-stage, 7-day race through the desert. And she comes out of nowhere, she starts running with me, and I fall in love with this little dog. And little did I know that it would really change both of our lives forever. During the race, I would make Gobi a promise that I was going to bring her home, back to Edinburgh in Scotland, where I was living at the time, give her a new life, give her a wonderful new life. But before we could do that, she actually went missing in a city in China of 3 million people, and I flew back to China to find her, and the story goes from there.
Wow. I will read this book.
It's a real roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's funny, sad, heartwarming, inspiring. It's kind of got all the ingredients for a really wonderful read.
For a movie.
And a movie.
Yes. And I understand that there are plans for that to happen in the near future. That's fantastic. And Lucia, you were just talking about a race.
Did the Bigfoot 200.
Bigfoot, okay.
So that was up in Washington State, so around sort of Mount St. Helens, through the blast zone, and Mount Rainier. So it's 200 miles non-stop through single track, climbing mountains on your feet. It's a non-stop race, so you only sleep when you choose to sleep. So I had 2.5 hours sleep over 4 nights. So I'm still catching up on sleep.
Amazing.
And it's part of a series, so I'm doing 3 200-mile races over a 9-week period known as the Triple Crown of 200s. So I'm hoping to be the first British woman to complete that as well. So I'm off to a good start. I've done one.
The other 2 races are the Tahoe 200, so 200 miles up and around the mountains over Lake Tahoe. And the third race is Moab 240 miles, which is, of course, all around Moab.
Moab, Utah.
Wonderful region, but it goes up into the La Salle mountain range as well, which is pretty amazing, and it's a really difficult race. So to complete the 3 races that Lucia's hoping to do in the 9-week period's pretty epic.
Yes.
Dion did it in 2018, so I'm gaining inspiration and knowledge from him, which is quite helpful as well.
Fantastic. And you are also racing to raise money for a cause. You're actually wearing your sun visor.
For Pink Ribbon Foundation, which is a breast cancer charity that helps people going through breast cancer. So which is great.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
And I understand that you travel a bit and do some speaking.
Yeah, do speaking events from libraries, schools, colleges to corporate events. The book Finding Gobi is available in a picture book, young readers edition, the adult book now in 21 languages. So there's different elements for different age groups, and there's different stories for different levels of business or colleges or schools, etc. I guess that's one of the great things about it is there's the aspect of Gobi the dog, but then there's also my life, becoming a runner. There's stories around that. There's a bit for everyone to enjoy the book with.
And you were talking earlier as we were on the raft coming down the river about how you got started, and you said that you began running seriously because of a bet.
Yes. I made a bet with a friend drunk one night, as you do, but this was a running bet, and it was see who could run the half marathon the quickest. And I was so drunk, in fact, I actually gave him 5 minutes head start as well as part of the bet. He'd run the race the previous year, so he wanted to beat his time of 1 hour 50. I'd never run. I couldn't run to catch a bus. So for me to then get fit, get ready, the race was in 3 months' time after the bet was made. I had a lot of work to do. But we get to race day and I'm racing ahead of him knowing that I've got to beat him by 5 minutes, and I finish in a time of 1 hour 28, and my wife Lucia was running the race as well, and she came in at 1 hour 36, and we knew that we'd beaten my friend with the bet, so we were happy. We're going to celebrate with the meal out that he was going to buy for the bet.
He was pretty happy too because he'd beaten his time, so he was
happy as well.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
It sort of started from there,
yeah.
Lucia dragged me to a marathon in France where we drank wine and cheese and meats for a whole 42 kilometres, and I got through that, but I didn't really think I'd ever run any further after that because it was the longest I'd ever run. But
yeah, then he bought me a book for my birthday, which was the world's toughest endurance challenges.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be a coffee table book, but again, we'd had a few drinks, and he jokingly said to me, "Open it up, and the first thing that your finger falls on will do," which was the Kalahari Extreme Marathon, which is a 250k, 155-mile stage race, so 6 stages over 7 days through the South African desert. And you carry all your food and kit you need to survive for the week, and from there it's history.
Wow.
I ended
Okay.
up finishing in 6th place in that race, and then it sort of took me off into then ultra running a little bit more seriously. I mean, I've run some of the most inhospitable and extreme locations in the world. I recently did what's known as the world's toughest foot race, which is held in Death Valley, California. It's called the Badwater, 135 miles. And that was during the heat wave that we had recently, temperatures around 135 degrees.
In 2 weeks' time is Tahoe. So.
In Tahoe, okay. And that'll be the third in your series of
No,
two?
second.
It's the second.
Yeah,
All right, and then what's the third one?
The third one's the Moab.
Okay, and that's in Moab.
Yeah.
All right, and that's going to be when?
That's October the 6th. Yeah, so it's only a 2-week break after Tahoe, and then off to do Moab. So
Then you should probably have the winter off.
Yeah,
All right. All right. Well, we have the rest of the Deschutes to raft.
we do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The book again, Finding Gobi. Who's the publisher?
HarperCollins, you can get
Portograph copies.
Gobi portograph copies at findinggobi.com.
All right. I'm looking forward to meeting Gobi.
She's a sweetheart. So
The famous Gobi.
Gobi says, I've done this before.
Yes,
this
many
is
many
definitely her
times.
side.
And Gobi followed you through the desert for how long?
80 miles,
Oh my
a
goodness.
whole week.
Wow.
And it'd be great to ask her, like, why did you join the race?
And have you ever answered that question?
She's never spoken about it. She's like, oh, it's a pretty good life, so I'm pretty happy.